Hey, this is Donna Nova, the Transdimensional Twin Flame and the Afterlife Artist. I was just posting a channeled message from the Divine Feminine aspect of God, the same being that Chris Bledsoe calls the Lady. And she is the being that awakened me with a spontaneous Kundalini on the last day of the Lionsgate portal on August 12th in 2015. So 11 years ago, she took me on my first spontaneous bilocation to where she was in the black void. It's called the black light. And I just didn't realize until last year when I met Chris Bledsoe on one of my orb watching trips. It was for remote viewing and orb watching. That the being that he calls the Lady is the same being that awakened me, and she's the divine feminine aspect of God. So, I was just thinking about a channeled message that she gave me last year in December, right before my friends and I went on a trip with Chris Bledsoe, that was guided by her. Now, I was channeling her and wasn't really noticing that I was being nudged by her to invite Chris Bledsoe and our friends to a second week at the beach to look at orbs and watch the State of the World Forum where Chris was a speaker. So, before this trip happened, the week before, the goddess came through and channeled a message for the group through me. And she showed me orbs streaming green codes in like numbers down on each of us on the beach from the orbs on the beach. And she gave a message about being open to receiving the messages and the gifts of love and the codes that the orbs and she were giving us on this trip. And she called this channeling reverberations. And she said that the gifts that you are going to be given on this trip will reverberate through you. And if you embody the love that we're giving you and spread it to others when you go home, these gifts will just be amplified between you, because you have been called together as a special group. And we all knew we had been called. By the end of this year, this is the second time we had met, and as a group, and we all felt that we had been called. So this becomes apparent on July 17th this year, when several of us saw Chris Bledsoe, a video, sticking something to the wall with the psychic ability of psychokinesis. And, I've tried it before and it didn't work for me. I have friends that can do it, but it had never worked for me. But that day, my friend Heather and I saw him do it, and then Heather did it. And she sent me a picture, and I said, wow, that's cool, I want to do it too. But I didn't try it right away. I just went and did my normal thing, and I started channeling with these crystals called euphorolite. Here's one of them. I wrapped it into a pendant. I don't know for sure if I like this wrapping, but I do love to wrap pendants with one continuous wire. I'm not trained in wrapping. I don't consider this one of my giant great skills, but I think it's fun to wrap a pendant with one wire to see how many interesting ways you can wrap it. It's totally secure. I also like this part, but you can easily put it on any larger necklace, and you can take it out. This wire, it does bend. It's not like sterling silver or anything, obviously, so it bends, and I can take it out and use it as a palm stone. So anyway, I am meditating with these really high vibrational euphorolite crystals that I just got on July 17th after I see my friends doing this psychometry. And the energy is so intense that I thought, what if I tried to stick something to the wall right now? So I didn't think about it. I just went and did it. And I stuck dozens of coins to the wall. 2 of them are still up over, it's almost 120 hours later. And basically, they've been up since 2 o'clock p.m. on July 17th, and now it's the 22nd. And they're still there. In the meantime, I have stuck lots of other things to the wall, more coins, but also crystals, several crystals, 3 different crystals now, and like a what do you call those? Like a the tie to one of those wire ties that you could close the bread with. One of those. And a wooden coaster. Actually, I'll show you. This. I stuck all these things to the wall, and ever since July 17th. So then I noticed that several people in my orb group did it that day. Either they did it before me, or I showed them a video of me doing it, and then they did it. And then other people that have had interaction with the orbs that I have since met since this trip did it on this day. So this is clearly a group activation of psychokinesis related to the goddess, who Chris Bledsoe calls the lady, and the orbs. This is all related to people who have a connection to the orbs. So to me, this channeling of reverberations that she gave me in December 2025 before our group orb trip, where we saw the green orb with the code numbers on it, like she showed me that before we even went on the trip, and I didn't know what it meant. And that trip was intense. I can't even go into it. I have a story of what the orbs did for me on that trip that I've shared it before in another video, but I can't go into it now. It's too long and deep. So anyway, everybody who's had this connection to the orbs who tried psychokinesis that day, seems like they could do it. So I'm just going to try it again just now because I'm feeling really good energy. I just had an amazing set of synchronicities involving the goddess that confirmed everything I'm getting from her. I had just posted some of these channelings from her, and then somebody had a vision of me that relates to these channelings. And I hadn't even talked to her today. So she is confirming everything that I'm channeling, so I can believe it even more. And once you believe it, like if you have a serious spiritual mission, you better believe it or you won't be on your mission. And that's what she said. She's like, I created each of you to be your individual selves. And when you have a deep spiritual mission like you do with your twin flame, Chris, if you don't embody who you are, then you're not really on your mission, right? And then I just got it confirmed. So switch the camera angle and try to stick some stuff to the wall and see how long they stick. Nothing stays that long like it did the first day. This is the first one I did ever. Still up. There's one in my bedroom also. And let me go grab something. So if the stuff falls off the wall, I'll put something soft there. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but I saw this sponge last night and I thought maybe this sponge will stick. Nope, didn't want to stick. But I have some other things here. I'm barely touching it. That's maybe why it doesn't stay up that long, but you shouldn't really have to touch it. It's about energy. So I'm not pressing really hard. I am putting my energy and my intention into it sticking and asking it to stick to the wall. But I'm not pushing really hard. Let's see if this little crystal froggy from yesterday will stick again. I don't know if he wants to. Yay! Whoops. And this guy. Let's see if this crystal sticks. This one doesn't always want to, but it is the first crystal that ever stuck. Nope. So you see, it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work, but coins always work for me. I haven't had a coin that won't work for me since I started doing it. Probably because I feel the most confident with coins. That's a piece of rose quartz. Well, there you go. It still works.